we did not want to be deterred from making the grand opening in the spring of 2020. So that's going to be very exciting for us. I'm going to turn it back to Jerry in a minute, but I first want to recognize our council. Liz Mueller is here from our vice chair for the tribe. Lisa Burrell. Lisa, stand up, Lisa, if you would. Lisa Burrell is our secretary. Teresa Lehman is our treasurer. And Kurt Grinnell, where are you, Kurt? Kurt is all our council. And I'm going to let Jerry introduce the board for us as well. And but first of all, I think before we get into all the formal introductions and welcoming of all of our dignitaries that are here from our community, we want to start off in a good way. And just so you know, we're going to do the actual blessing. Patrick Adams is here with his wife Patsy. They're going to provide the blessing of the site, so we're going to actually do that before we do the groundbreaking a little later in the agenda. But I'm going to bring Lonnie and our S'Klallam singers and dancers up here, and we're going to do an opening song and dance here to open up our ceremony in a special way.
Of Jamestown, and I am happy to say that Nis qui statisam niskayam nischayacha. So these are all of my important friends and relatives of Jamestown up here to sing today. And at Aemst arrival song. We're going to be singing the arrival song for you today to open up the ceremony. And this song was shared with us by a man named Forrest Holton at the Cowichan Canoe Journey in 2008. So enjoy.
Healing medicine use of the various plants program that we're doing. So it's just things that we're little by little, restoring our culture and our ways of life. So what I'm going to do, we have a lot of people we want to give thanks to and recognize. I think I want to start, Jerry, is recognizing many of our dignitaries are here. So I have a list. And if you guys would stand up so we can recognize you. So Sherry Kidd's here from the city of Port Angeles. I know Randy Johnson and Marco Zayas are here from the county. Bill Benedict is here, our sheriff, and Ron Cameron. From the city is Quim. I think the mayor's here, Dennis. Who's here from the city? Dennis Smith, Charlie Bush. Dave Garlington, Public Works, we work with Dave a lot. Barb Hanna, she's the communication and market manager. So we want to thank her. And then I don't know if I'm missing anybody else from the city or from the county. Oh, Sissy, yeah, the mayor of Port Angeles. I'm sorry, Sissy. Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, we were scrambling at the last minute knowing who was all coming, Sissy. Thank you. Okay, so we have a few others that we want to recognize and bring up and express our deep appreciation. This has been an amazing team spirit. I do want to give a shout out to my brother. My brother has been the lead of this effort. he's been a real thorn in my side about getting this thing done. You know, in terms of, you know, the tribe has lots of priorities, lots of projects that are important to us. Many of you know about our Justice Center that's being built over here by the Longhouse and a few other projects that are very important to the tribe. But he persistently pushes this particular project. So we're excited about that. And I just want to give him a shout out because as he introduces our team, somebody has to be at the lead. And somebody has to keep everybody on course and hopefully in the same canoe and hopefully pulling in the same direction. You know what I mean? And that was Jerry's job. So with that, give him a warm welcome and thank you, guys.
If only our mother and father was alive to hear that one. Yeah, you know, it has been, you know, and I think about how do you start to think about building this hotel, and you start thinking about sewer lines to the city of Sequim. I thank the city of Sequim for all their cooperation along with the county. It has been a big deal, creating a loop road to make this whole master plan inside this basin work comes together. It's been quite a commitment on behalf of the council who supports our board, who supports us and what our vision is. And so I thank you guys very much for what you've done. It means a lot to us. The board that I served for many, many years is here in front of me now. Jim Hagwood's come on board a long time ago, so again, and we got Josh Chapman over here. We got Paul Moore, and representing the Gaming Commission is my other brother Jeff Allen right there. There's a lot of different pieces, and without a doubt, the one guy I was going to remember that at some point in time. I appreciate the reminder. Cliff Prince, who is a board member who's not here, his sister, one of his sisters are here, if not a couple. There she is over there. Julie's over here, and I think it's unbelievable how Cliff has been here since we started this thing together 25 plus years ago. So Cliff deserves a big shout out as a great supporter, he really analyzes everything. If anybody spent a couple hours with Cliff, you'll know that his contributions are incredible. And so with that, I thank you. Make sure you say thank you to your brother, Julie. I appreciate it very much. And again, as there's a lot of faces that are familiar out there. On the gaming side, you know, Mr. Dave Trujillo is here from the State Gambling Commission. He's a director. Dave, can you say, I can't tell you how important Dave and my relationship has been over the years. Success in the gaming environment has been one that it's been fun to be able to share that journey with because we go back so far together, and it is a big deal. But again, when you start assembling a team, you know, whether you're doing a sewer line or the loop road, when it comes to the hotel, it starts with design, and it starts with Rice Fergus Miller. It's a relationship that started some time ago, and if Greg's around, Greg can make your way to the stage. You know, Greg and Jennifer both, and is Jennifer still running around here somewhere? Come on up as well. You know, when you think about trying to get into the Jamestown mind, it's about you know, having a cocktail with my brother Ron at some time. Am I right? And but nonetheless, you know, it takes a lot, and I think that, you know, their ability to understand how we try to do things here with the tribe, and I think about the very first tribal center and that design that Ron was intimately involved with, all the way to where we are today with this latest venture. It takes that sort of coordination and working not just with Ron, but also with the board, and I think there's probably some influence from the council, who we are and what we want to do. And with that in mind, you know, Rice Fergus they're based out of Bremerton. They're a group that we have become very, very respectful and fond of because of the ability to work with us. And again, we're not the easiest client, as people, they will probably share with you. But Greg and Jennifer are here to represent it, and I know they wanted to say a few words.
Thank you, Jerry. First off, I don't think anybody has one cocktail with Ron. Anyway, I have to say it's a real honor to be here, and thank you for inviting Jerry, Ron, everyone for inviting Rice Fergus Miller to participate in this event. It's hard to believe. I think we started this project in 2005. And for us, it started as a small conference room addition to the former bingo hall. And it was our first project working in the tribal hospitality market. And it was also an opportunity for us to engage a newly hired young interior designer who's standing here next to me, Jennifer, on a project that, in our mind, it was small enough for her to kind of wrap her head around it. It was just big enough to kind of be good, meaningful experience. So anyway, 14 years later, Jennifer's a partner at the firm, And that 14-year story isn't relevant because it expresses how long it's been. It's relevant because it demonstrates how the people we've been working with here really put people, relationships, and community first. And the relationships with Ron and Jerry and the rest of the Seven Cedars team have really been instrumental in teaching both Jennifer and me as we grow professionally about the strength of relationships. It's also been about building our firm's capabilities in the markets we work in, and it's really been an important part of our professional development. And so I thank you for that. And it's the same attitude that's allowed the tribe to not only nourish and elevate the profile of Jamestown S'Klallam, but to support and grow vital communities around here, both Sequim and the greater Northern Peninsula. And I think of this kind of story of relationships and putting people first as like a pebble in a pond. A small splash makes ripples that spread across the region, and ripples that not only positively impact your local communities, but they go further, influencing communities and people well beyond the Olympic Peninsula. And if you'll indulge me, I have a short story I want to tell that kind of, I think, talks to that, bringing a lot of stuff full circle over 14 years. When our project first began, we had a copy of the Jamestown story, the history of the tribe. And there was a story within that inspired the beginnings of a design concept. It was a story about Slapu. And someone on the Jamestown team gave us a DVD of Elaine Grinnell telling Jamestown stories, and it was a great disc. I watched it at home actually a number of times with my kids. And over the years, as this project evolved, one day I found my son reading a book called Trickster, which is a collection of Native American stories in kind of a graphic novel format. And he was reading that thing, I don't know, every night for almost a year. And I came across one of Elaine's stories in there. I thought, here's this Elaine showing up again. This is really cool. And then it wasn't but last year, as we were wrapping up design on this project, my son's 5th grade class was sent off to Nature Bridge. And I think it wasn't something he really wanted to do. And he came back and I said, how was Nature Bridge? He said, no, it wasn't very good. I said, well, what were the highlights? Well, he said there was one highlight. Sitting around a fire or something, there was a story told by this woman about Slapu. And I think that the point is that your ripples from your community reach far and they touch many. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, a lot went into the making of this project, and I think we'd like to take some time to recognize our team that put together all of this stuff that you see here, the team responsible for what this project looks like. One person who's not here from our team that I do want to recognize is a gentleman named Ian Anderson, who is our project manager. He's moving across the country, and we are going to miss him dearly, but his tireless efforts really helped us stay on track and on budget. But if our team would stand over here. I'm trying to see them through the light. Sean Moyano is raising his hand over there. Kenya Jones, Jordan Amali, Jason Ritter, and Nancy Peng. Thank you so much for your effort. So anyway, today, groundbreaking of the new hotel. It's another piece of the grand vision that's being realized here at the head of Sequim Bay. And this project represents a bigger stone, one whose ripples will be larger and whose reach will be broader. I think this project, of course, will be a catalyst for future growth here at the Seven Cedars campus. And more than that, it's going to be the first four-diamond property in the region. It will establish Blinn as the gateway to the Olympic Peninsula, and it's going to pave the way for economic growth across the peninsula. It will make the Jamestown Sklallam tribe the regional leaders in the hospitality industry and also in building vital and sustainable communities across the peninsula. The power of this project, in my mind, is not in what it looks like or how many rooms it has or how big it is. The power of the project lies in Jamestown Sklallam's commitment to their community, their relationships, and in short, their family. And on behalf of Rice Fergus Miller, our consultants, and the entire design team, I want to congratulate you for reaching this milestone and for inviting us to be part of your family in making this happen.
Les Martin, are you here somewhere? Les, stand up for a second. Les, thank you. I want to acknowledge Les. He's been a partner on so many projects. We helped lead our projects out the Longhouse Market and the Bingo Hall expansions, and under his leadership, and it's just been a pleasure to be part of your team as well, and have Swinnerton do what they do on behalf of the Jamestown tribe. And of course, I do want to make sure that, I know I got some notes in here, that we also want to recognize those tribal citizens that work for the tribe. And I think, work for us here at the resort. And I'm always reminded of Terry Johnson. Where's Terry at? Mr. Johnson. Stand up, Terry. If there's ever an employee who belongs with employee number 1, this is Terry. Terry started in the original, he was working with, at that time, which was known Frontier Construction. He helped build the place from the ground up. Probably was part of the first, when the dirt was being turned, and I appreciate it. And he's got some special stories along. He brought his vest from his uncle. That was also part of the pole raising, if I'm not mistaken, down there. Is that what it was, Terry? Yeah. Yeah, Peninsula College, the pole raising, yeah. So, he, along with his carving history, has been an extremely generous contributor to all things going on. Terry, I want to say I appreciate what you've done for us now for almost close to 25 years. So thank you for everything you do. And again, there's a host of other tribal citizens, and now I'm going to tax my memory. If everybody could just hands up to every one of those people. I know we got, is Robert and Roxanne in the house? And we have the other, we have a whole bunch, and I'm really appreciative of that. We also have people that have been with us since the day we started. We do employee recognition like most companies do, and we have people, we call them day oneers, and I'm just going to read their name real quick. Some of them are very familiar, some of them not quite. Obviously, Terry, I put him at the top of and I want you guys to give these people a hand, because you talk about having patience along with myself. 24 plus years later, we're finally realizing our dream as well. And those people that started with us 24 years ago, and I'm going to read them as quick as I can. Melody Bowers, Ron Sather, Scott Blankenship, Penny Blankenship, Larry and Glenn Smithson. No, they're not twins, just Irish twins. Judy Walls, Dina Rowe, Diane Varner, Mark Baker, Mary Munson, Randy Melinda, Dora Stovall, and Gina Fairchild. Please give them a hand. Because I had a nickel every time I asked them to run, but they know. So I appreciate that very much. And with that, I'll turn it back to Ron, and I think we're going to get ready for the groundbreaking, or you have some more words?
Real close, Jerry. Thank you. I forgot there's a couple of dignitary offices here. So we have a representative here from Senator Cantwell, Rosa McLeod, and then we have a representative here from Derek Kilmer's office. Where are you? Back here from Derek. So Derek Kilmer and Senator Cantwell. We always appreciate our state representatives and our senators, who are championing our cause. And right now they're a little distracted back in Washington, D.C. I don't know what's going on back there, but I know it's taking up all the media time. So that's why they're not here right now. So anyhow, okay. So I do want to just say a few more words before we break from here, and then we're going to go out that door off in the back. We're going to just hook everybody off to the side where we're going to actually do the groundbreaking and the blessings. So Patrick and Patsy will do that for us. But I just want to say, to pick up on Jerry's comments, that Jamestown always has looked at our partnership with the county, our partnership with the city of Sequim, the city of Port Angeles, and even the city and county of Jefferson County and Port Townsend. The Limerick Peninsula is a part of our family. So everything we do is intended to benefit not just our people, but the community that surrounds us. And so we see this as an opportunity to continue to extend those efforts that make a difference here for our community. And as Jerry said, the spirit of our elders, the spirit of the Sklallam people historically, It was a shout out to Elaine and Marlon Holden here, some of our elders here that are here. We always raise our hands up to them, and many of our other elders who are here and are mixed in among our community with all of our different programs. We just are deeply, deeply appreciative of them, always reminding us of who we are, what we're all about. And that's why when you see our property, even back when we were designing this property, back in 94, 95, it was intended to be something that was complementary of our community. It was not, even though it's a casino, and eventually it's going to be a casino resort, it was not intended to be Las Vegas North. It was intended to be something that is very special, a destination area for the Northwest that is reflective of the culture, the culture of our community. So as you see the eventual products, the end products, as you've seen the product here, it's going to reflect who we are. It's going to reflect the beauty and the pristine of the Olympic Peninsula. What a wonderful place it is. We always like to say it's God's country, and everybody says that wherever they're from, but we believe it here. And so, we just feel that this partnership that we have with all of our surrounding communities, from the political leadership to the individual citizens, everything we do is about how we can do good things for what we always refer to as the 7 generations. And so when we're done, then we know that we're passing on the responsibility to our successors, and that it's going to be a wonderful experience for each and every one of us. As Jerry said, this was a lot of work, a lot of details, and we want to make sure we get it right. We often say that we are going to try to be the gateway to the Olympic Peninsula. We want it to be complimentary the minute you come onto the peninsula, not just Clallam County, but the peninsula itself, and that we're reflective of all of our guests who come here from all throughout the world, and that's going to be a big deal to us. And we certainly get a lot of attention around here. I don't know if people know, or have paid much attention, but you see the totem poles that are reflective of all the stories and the messages and who we are. We currently have throughout all our properties somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 totem poles throughout the community, and it just captures the character of who we are. When we carved a totem pole for the city of Sequim in their plaza, it was about we are a part of the city of Sequim. We're doing another one down for Port Townsend with the Northwest Maritime Center, because our culture is a part of who we are down there as well. So it's just wherever we go, we try to make a difference. We try to do our part with regard to the welfare of job opportunities, the welfare of our community, and just making our life better on the Olympic Peninsula. I do want to give a quick shout out. Jerry and I, we're kind of a 24/7 couple of personalities, and we work hard on all these different projects. This one, and it's me over at the Tribe, and we'd be remiss if we don't do a shout out. His wife Elise is not here, but my wife Maureen is here. I want to do a shout out. Usually her comment is, "Now where are you going?" There can't be another meeting, but there always is, it seems like. You just don't realize how much everybody makes a contribution to these efforts, and our families and wives and certainly contribute to it. So with that, what we'd like to do is I know it's a large group, and not everybody has to go, just those who would like to go. Okay. So we do want to start with the council. So